Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you the whole step-by-step process that I use to create an illustration. Before we get started, I just want to say that I've made a video for each one of these steps, so if you're interested in knowing about any of them in more depth, I will link to the playlist for that over in the cards. Also, if you're interested in fantasy art or children's book illustration or illustration, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can see all the videos when they come out. Here are the steps I use to create an illustration. Sometimes they can change depending on the project. Step 1. Brainstorming. It's a good idea to spend time at this stage. Don't just take your first idea. Spend time thinking through how to make it better. You can brainstorm in a notebook or on a loose sheet of paper. Write your initial idea and then start thinking of words and thoughts that can help express the idea. Write down every idea that hits your brain, even if it's dumb. You're the only one who will see these notes, and you don't have to use it just because it's written down. The brainstorming stage can also be a good place to start collecting photos. I like to use a Pinterest board to collect visual ideas for my project. I'll add to it as I need to throughout the process. Step 2. Thumbnails. Thumbnails are small sketchy drawings used to figure out your illustration. My favorite tips for drawing thumbnails are 1. Don't worry about making them good at the beginning. Stick figures are okay. You can refine later. 2. Let your ideas flow freely. Like the brainstorming stage, put something down even if you don't think it will work. 3. Refine your thumbnails at the end until you have something you really think will work. Take some time with your value patterns and gestures. Step 3. Concept art. For me, the concept art stage can be one of the funnest parts of the process. This is where I start refining characters and objects for the illustration to see how I think they might look. I like to try different styles and ways of working here to see what I get. I spend time thinking about how best to tell the story with these characters and objects, so when it comes time to drawing my illustration, I already have at least part of a plan for how it will work. Step 4. Take photo reference. For this part of the process, you'll want to have your thumbnails or sketches ready so you can direct the person helping you with photos. The more realistic you want your illustration to be, the more effort you'll want to put into the costumes and lighting. Step 5. Turn your thumbnail into a sketch. I use my iPad Pro to make my thumbnails larger and start drawing right on top of them. But you can also use the computer to print larger versions of your thumbnails, or just eyeball them and sketch them on paper. Make sure to check out my video turning your thumbnail into a drawing to see my favorite ways to do this. Step 6. Creating value studies. I also use my iPad Pro to create value studies by painting right over my sketch. Like the thumbnail stage, this is a chance to try different things and see what will work for you. Don't be afraid to try new ideas. You can also use Photoshop or sketch on a piece of paper to try out different values. Step number 7. Color studies. Much like value studies, color studies give you a chance to try a lot of different color options before you have to commit to one. Depending on the medium you want to finish your illustration with, you may or may not want to be pretty detailed at this stage. Because I like to use watercolor, I have a well thought out color study and value plan before I go into painting, because I can't just change a color after I've painted something. If you're using something like oil paint or gouache or acrylic or working digitally, you might not have to be as thorough in your color studies. Step number 8. Paint your illustration. You can finish your art any way you like. I already said I like to use watercolor. To see how I've transferred my drawing to watercolor paper and how I use my color and value studies while I paint, check out videos 10 through 13 of the series. Alright, that's how I create an illustration. I hope that gave you a good idea of what you can do. Since this is my process, feel free to take any part of it that works for you and leave out or change the stuff that doesn't. For more info on each step, don't forget to check out the whole video series. Comment below and let me know what part of this process you find the most helpful. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. See you next time.